Hello, my Biblio darlings, and welcome to Bibliothesia. My name is Mally, and the story that we're going to read today is called The King and Wise Stag. And before we read that beautiful story, let's remind our bodies that we are safe right here and right now. And we're going to do that through a deep breathing exercise where we're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold the breath for 4 counts, and exhale out for 8 counts. And then I'm going to share with you some beautiful jokes. So with that, pretend you have a balloon inside your tummy, and we're going to do the deep breathing exercise. Pretend you have a balloon inside your tummy and make it bigger with each breath. And when you're ready, inhale deeply for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath for and now exhale out for 8. Oh, that deep breathing exercise is always such a good reminder. When we fill up our body with air, our body becomes more relaxed. And speaking of being more relaxed, I'm going to lean over and get my joke book, and I'm going to share with you some knock-knock jokes. This will be neat. Knock, knock. Who's there? Butter. Butter who? Butter finish your vegetables if you want dessert. Get it? Better finish your vegetables if you want dessert. All right, well, let's read the second joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Candy. Candy who? Candy cow jumped over the moon. Oh, candy cow jumped over the moon? Candy cow jump over... Oh, I just got it now. Can the cow jump over the moon? Okay. And here's a third joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Steele. Steele who? Steele can't believe you won a brand new car. Oh, get it? Still can't believe you won a brand new car? Alrighty, well, I'm hoping you're feeling more relaxed with a deep breathing exercise and those 3 wonderful jokes. So with that, let's read the story of The King and the Wise Stag. And before I do that, let's look at this beautiful picture. So what I see in the picture, and please comment below if you see something completely different, but in this picture, what I see, there is a princess or a queen based on the crown with a pink and orange dress, and it looks like she's feeding the stag something to eat. And it looks like the stag has a jewel in the middle of the forehead, and that jewel is very similar to the jewel in the crown that the woman is wearing, and the jewel that the man is wearing. And the stag's horns are shimmery and they sparkle. And it looks like the stag has beautiful fur down its chest, and it goes under on its tummy, and it goes all the way to its little cute tail. And then I see a man, and he's looking at the stag and the woman. This man has like an orange hat with a jewel on top. It looks like he has on a jacket that's white and orange. That same jewel is what's keeping the jacket together. And he looks like he's wearing some other clothing underneath. And in behind all 3 living beings, there are trees, like tall trees, and little shrubs and both of those are green. And then I see 4 beautiful shrubs with purple flowers on them, and they're beautifully round. And I see a water fountain, and it looks like there's fish, and each fish is in a different position, and there's water coming out of each fish's mouth. And then behind are 3 beautiful orange trees, and above the far left orange tree is a bird, and then behind that is a beautiful sun. So with that, let's read The King and Wise Stag. Relax, be very still, and listen. Listen carefully to this tale about a beautiful stag called Dino's. He lived deep in the heart of a great forest of giant trees with all his animal friends, until one day everything changed. Do you want to know what happened? Well, let's see if we can find out. Now, Dinos was no ordinary stag. He was the wisest animal in the forest, and he looked special, too, as he had a beautiful amethyst jewel embedded in his forehead and shimmering purple antlers. When he woke this particular morning, everything was wet, and droplets of rain shone like diamonds on the grass. There had been a big storm during the night, and the dark clouds were just scuttling off over the horizon, as the smiling sun arrived in the sky. As usual, Dinos made his way down to the river for a morning drink. But the storm had made the water angry, so it was surging along faster than usual. As he stood watching the raging river, he heard a voice calling, "Help! Help! Please help!" Suddenly, a man floated into view around a bend in the river. He was frantically waving his arms, and every few minutes he disappeared under the water and then bobbed up again, spluttering. The wise stag thought quickly and called out to the man, "Look up! Grab the branches above you." The man stretched out his arms, caught a hold of a branch, and held on tight. Dinos then waded into the water and said to him, "Take hold of my neck." The man was so shocked to see a stag with shimmering purple antlers and a jewel in his forehead that he let go of the branch. But thankfully he just managed to catch hold of Dinos, who pulled him out of the water and up the river bank. The man, whose name was Arthur, was soaked and exhausted, but immediately and immensely grateful to the kind and wise stag. He thanked him time and time again for saving him and asked him what he could do to repay him. "I ask only one thing in return," replied Dinos. "Just give me your word that you will never tell anyone about me or where I live, because there are many wicked and greedy men who will try to hunt me for my jewel." Full of gratitude, Arthur placed his hand on his heart and vowed never to tell anyone about the stag or where he lived. And then Dinos led the man to a path which would lead him out of the forest. Several years passed. One day the queen of the land, who lived far from the great forest, heard a rumor about a wise and beautiful stag with twinkling purple antlers and a magnificent purple jewel in his forehead. Intrigued, she wished to see the splendid animal, and she asked her husband, the king, to find it for her. Now the king was a kind man who liked to please his wife, so he offered a large reward to anyone who could help him catch the special stag. When Arthur heard of the king's search, he was overcome by greed and forgot all about the promise he had made to Dinos. He went to the king and led him and his men to the great forest, where they lay in wait for the stag and very soon captured him. The king was overjoyed to have found the beautiful creature and ordered his men to look after the stag well. They tied him to the back of a cart and gave him fresh hay to eat, and the king even went personally to reassure the stag that he would not be harmed. But when he saw the stag, he noticed that he was crying. "What's the matter?" he asked gently. Have my men hurt you?" A single tear ran down Dino's cheek. "No, I've been treated very well, thank you, but I'm upset because I think that someone may have betrayed me. I'm very careful to keep away from humans." "How did you find me?" he asked softly. The king was so dismayed to see the stag weeping that he just pointed to greedy Arthur, who had been trying to hide nearby. The man lowered his eyes and looked at the ground. The king asked Dinos, "Do you know this man?" The stag then told him how he had saved Arthur's life some years before, and the man had promised never to tell anyone about him or to mention where he lived. When the king, who was honest and just, heard that the stag had been captured only because Arthur had broken his promise, he grew red with anger and ordered Arthur to be taken away and taught a lesson. But the stag, in his compassion, begged the king to forgive the man and let him go. And the king was so moved by the deer's kindness and wisdom that he agreed. Then he released the stag and invited him to come and meet his wife, the queen, who was so eager to see him after all she had heard about him. Dinos agreed, and they all returned to the castle. The queen and the stag soon became firm friends, meaning really good friends. She loved to feed him his favorite grapes, and he appreciated her gentle kindness. At last the stag felt safe, no longer fearing that he would be hunted for his valuable jewel and antlers. Before long, Dinos became the king's most trusted advisor, helping the monarch to rule the kingdom fairly and wisely by honoring promises made to his subjects and never allowing him to be influenced by greed. So what's the moral or the lesson of the story? By keeping promises and being kind and forgiving, we make the world a better place for everyone. A wise person shows compassion for others, even when they have been hurt by them. What do you think of that story? I think that story is really wise. I really do. And it's beautiful. Because I've been told that if someone has done some mean things to you, if all you think about is the mean things, then the mean things start to poison you on the inside. Whereas if you think about something that's happened to you that hasn't been the most positive, and if you think about the person who has done those things to you, and you think about that person with compassion, it doesn't mean that you have forgotten what the person has done, but it means that you've forgiven what the person has done. And when you forgive someone, it's not for the other person. It's for yourself, so you don't carry all of that hate and anger and frustration and sadness about what someone else did to you. Just a thought to think about. And with that, let's do another deep breathing exercise. Are you ready? So pretend you have a balloon inside your tummy and inhale deeply for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold the breath for Now exhale out for 8. Oh, that deep breathing exercise is such a good reminder that we are safe in our body right now. That's so important. And speaking of joke telling, I'm going to reach over and get my book. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cello. Cello who? Cello there. How are you today? Oh, get it? Cello? Hello? Hello there. How are you today? All right. Here's the second joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Conga. Conga who? Conga to your party. I broke my leg. Oh, Conga, can't go to your party. I broke my leg. And here's a third joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Bacon. Bacon who? Bacon a cake for your birthday. That's great. I love bacon and I love cakes, so combining the two words is wonderful. Well, with that, our time together is now wrapping up, and it's been wonderful having you join in the fun and the relaxation. And if you're sitting next to an adult, remind the adult to subscribe to this channel and then to click on the bell, because then you'll be notified when there's new shows and stories. So with that, I'm hoping you have a beautiful day, and until next time, bye!